Today, on behalf of the new MR and Question Pro communities, I'd like to talk to you about putting your promoters to work and the concept of a customer advisory board. To kick things off, I want to talk a little bit about the experience economy and the evolution there. So taking it from measurement to enablement and to now what we see as transformation. In 2010, it was really all about measurement. You want to make sure that you're measuring what matters and having the tools and methodologies and so forth to do that. And moving that 5 years forward to 2015, it's really about enablement and management, which is really getting the data in the right place with the right people in the right time. So after you've collected the data and you've measured it in those different means, you want to make sure that the data is being visually displayed correctly, that it's in the right place, the right people are consuming that data, and at the right time and of the most importance. Really, as we see it now going into 2020, and it's all about transformation, helping companies to really transform those experiences and taking that data not only from insights, but to true transformation and transforming businesses. And we see that customer advisory boards and promoter communities as a means to do that. So 3 key agenda items that I want to talk to you today about is 1, uncover how to effectively tap into your promoters and learn how to actively listen to your most important customers and find out more about a customer advisory board or insights lab, as it's commonly called, as well. And really not only talk about how to do all these things, but the why and how we see it fitting into the marketplace. First, before we do this, I want to talk about really customer experience and honing in on the word experience here. If we think about what is experience, experience is something that is personally encountered, undergone, or lived through. It's not a transaction. It's not just a quick exchange in a store. It's really essentially an experience. And this is something that is personal to the consumers and your customers. So I want to make sure that we hone in on this experience, that it's something lived through and that's something that we can help to get additional information and additional insights from your members or from your promoters into a community. So did you know that the richest man in the world, Jeff Bezos, roughly $108.6 billion as of today, always has an empty chair at his meetings, and it's really because the customers always need a seat at the table, really always thinking about the experience that they're going to have with your product or with your service, and making sure that you're always taking them into account, and that because that experience is something that is personal, and that the connection that they have with the transactions or the brand or your experience with particular brands is paramount. If we think about the phases of customer experience here, 1 is obviously awareness of the product through discovery to attraction, so to interaction. Now they purchase the product, which is great. We all want to get to that point. And once they start to use it, cultivate it, and now if all of these things go well, they become advocates for the particular product. And this is really where I want to hone in on through this webinar and this talk today, is really the advocacy part of it, and taking that piece and seeing what you can do more, and taking your promoters and a typical NPS question to engagement enablers of your particular product or service, and getting more from them. So a typical VOC program has obviously journey mapping in it, with maturity model, moments of truth, and as definite certain CX assessments, and brand density, of course. And then you measure, obviously, all those different touch points, and whether that is driver analysis, closed loop, you measure that. But really you want to take it from measurement to empowerment, and giving your customers or your promoters, people that are key to your measurement and the NPS score, into a customer advisory board, and really being able to get more ideation, co-creation conversations, as you see here, out of them, and empowering them to be able to do that. So what I'm really talking about is, put your promoters to work, empower. You can empower them to give feedback about your brand, about what they're experiencing, about new products that you want to launch. Co-create with them. If you have some ideas and you need some help rounding them out, your promoters tend to have some of the best ideas about your product, and you can help co-create with them. Innovation and impact can come from anywhere, and your promoters have a high quotient for this innovation process. And this is really cultivating and giving an environment in which they can promote and give these ideas back to you, and through these different co-creation means. So what are some of the key questions that CX answers that might be improved with the customer advisory board? So obviously it's, am I evolving to meet my customers' expectations? Am I doing the things necessary to help increase sales and returns for the business? Yeah, you can measure this with an NPS question or part of your VOC program. But I think true measurement and true evolving is listening to your customers and being able to co-create with them, and thus cultivating this relationship with them in order to making sure that you're meeting your needs, and you're not just thinking about the next 1 or 2 years, but thinking about 10 years down the line with them. And then do you have the insights to make better decisions? Yeah, you have your NPS score or maybe your average customer satisfaction score, but does that give you enough insight to make better decisions? Perhaps you need to take it one step further and really have the impact and be able to co-create with your members. And then really, how can you delight your customers? And you can really do this with a customer advisory board, because you can learn what your top promoters are really actively thinking and what they think about the products. Maybe it's future products that you want to release. There's a definite value there that you can get with having your promoters inside of a community. And we've seen this, I'll show you a case study later, but we've definitely seen all of these things kind of circle back into positive outcomes for our clients. And really, when you think about how you can do this, you can definitely do it through an NPS question. Obviously, recruiting the promoters to anybody that answers the 9 or 10 that they're a promoter. Then you can take them into the customer advisory board and do additional research with them. You can also do this based on customer satisfaction ratings. If you know that someone is highly satisfied, you can recruit them into a customer advisory board, and that way you'll be able to capture more of their feelings and innovate and co-create along with them. This is an example of a customer advisory board. So anybody that is a promoter or highly satisfied, you can directly route, and this is the page that they would come to. Typically, they're automatically logged in or become a member of the community, and they can come to this page and return back to log in as well. Some of the different tools that you have inside of the toolbox are obviously surveys and polls. So you could continue doing follow-up surveys and polls with your members now that are part of this customer advisory board that really are advising you on future product decisions and things that you can do. With that, there's also an idea board, which is really a great way to co-create and get additional innovative ideas from your members by having them submit ideas around a particular campaign, having them up or down vote on particular ideas, other member ideas. And this would give you a sense of, hey, what ideas are the most popular? What do I need to take back to my teams on my end, me being the company, to continue to innovate and see what we potentially want to do. And there's a good closed loop feedback system in here, and you can tell your members, hey, these are the ideas that we took and we decided to at least review or hopefully implement inside of the product or service. Then there's other ways through topics and discussions that you can empower your customers and really give them a voice. You can put different topics and discussions in front of them and have them answer. Other members can come and comment on that. So you get a true conversation going about different products or services, things going on with your brand. And then also you can recruit a certain subset of your advisory board to participate in a live online focus group with either video or chat based or even just voice based, where it's moderated, and that moderation can then lead to a formal discussion guide. And then on the other side, obviously the members can participate and get full transcripts and everything through the topics and discussions. So these are some powerful ways that you can get feedback from your most valued customers, those being your promoters. And really all of this can be done through, and members can continue to be rewarded through a fully integrated reward system with custom gift cards and so forth that you can continue to incentivize your promoters with. While we have there's reward systems that can be in place with these customer advisory boards, we've even found in some of the more, depending on the brand and the brand equity that a brand might have, we've seen that you can typically sometimes do this without rewards, right? So you can just, based on your brand's really ownership or affinity in a particular space, you can do it just based on that as well, depending on, again, how large or how really active your brand is in the marketplace. So an example of a promoter community is something like this, where this is a discussion where you can start to empower the passion, co-create with your promoters, have them put into ideas, up or download ideas. These are some different examples there. I'd like to show you, tell you about a case study with the Cheesecake Factory, where we partnered with them and got their promoters inside of a customer advisory board. And really, different ideas were submitted and voted on, both by the members in the board and then also by the client themselves. And then one of the most upvoted ideas, believe it or not, was taking away the ketchup bottles. It was cumbersome for the employees because they always had to make sure that they were full. It was also hard on the customers because, the ketchup bottle, you have to hold it at the right angle. You have to keep shaking it until, the ketchup finally comes out. So it became a big problem. So what they did is they decided to do away with ketchup bottles and just provide the ramekins of ketchup on the plates if that particular, if something that needed ketchup was ordered, like French fries or onion rings or something like that. So this really became a win for all involved, from management because it helped reduce costs, customers, it was a win there because it was kind of a painful process or kind of a annoying process to get the ketchup out. And then the employees liked it because they didn't have to continually make sure that the ketchup was at least 60% full. So this turned into a six-figure cost savings just by sparking these ideas and getting these innovative ideas from their customers. So this is definitely a tangible result on overall profit, but there's also other ways that you can do this and impact product or services as well. And this is obviously an example of not only a cost savings, but providing a better service to customers as well. So some of the insights gained in a customer advisory board is the learning over time and really empowering your members to do that. Innovating with your top customers is, we like to say, innovation can come from anywhere, and your promoters, your top customers, have a high ownership quotient in your product. So they are going to be some of the ones that have the best ideas and can help you innovate on your products or services. And then really insights for true impact. And this kind of plays into the transformation as we were talking about earlier. Yeah, you have your NPS score, you have the promoters, but what are you going to do about that? And what is it going to take to truly transform your business? It's really the insights that you can get from your promoters, and you identify them via the NPS question. These are the true insights that we see for true impact in your business. And some of the key areas that this can impact is obviously an increase in sales, or also a decrease in costs, as we saw with the previous example, but really increased sales as a result of product improvements, service improvements, maybe better ad testing, things like that you can do inside of this promoter community. Acquisition and retention. So obviously the ability to acquire customers, you can learn that from your customer advisory board and easy make that acquisition easier, that process of gaining new customers. And then also the retaining. What does it take to keep people coming back over and over again and really innovating on those ideas? Am I keeping up with the marketplace? These are all things that you can continue to keep a pulse on and measure and really get the different ideas and empowerment from your member base. And of course, improve the product, or if you're a service-based business, obviously that is your product. So you can continue to improve that through these ideas and innovations that you get from your members. So some key takeaways are definitely, tap into your promoters. They actively listen to your most important customers. These are your promoters. And again, these ideas and innovations and things that they have can come from anywhere. And definitely, create a customer advisory board or insights lab. I think if you have a good VOC program, or that you're asking this satisfaction question or CSAT question, you can definitely tap into those people that rank you high and get them into an advisory board for further exploration and discovery around your product. So with that, I want to thank you, and feel free to reach out to me on the different channels I have here. Feel free to email me, hit me up on Twitter at Dan_QPro, and then definitely follow me on LinkedIn. I like to push out a lot of content and really good advice for communities. Also, I dip into sales and other things as well, but definitely good advice for improving your business and increasing brand loyalty and things of that nature. So with that, definitely have time for some questions and answers.